Welcome to the Condor video part 2. This is the wing build, and this is actually very important and probably the most difficult part of this. What you're going to do is you're going to have this flat piece, and this piece here you're going to see is going to fit right underneath there. You can see I have one done over here, kind of, at least started. And what we're going to do is you want to make sure that when you sand this, that you're supported under the table. This is a pretty delicate piece, and it can easily break. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to find the center. Now this is supposed to be 24 inches long from the end over there to the end over there, way over here. And it actually was a little bit off. It was a little bit less. And so what I did is I drew a line that found the exact center. It was about maybe an eighth of an inch less. So it was 11 and 7/8. Then you'll see I marked that there, right here. And you're going to use a rafters angle or carpenter square and make sure that line is nice and straight all the way across. And then what we're going to do is we're going to measure 1.25 inches here and 1.25 inches from the center. So they're both the same. And the reason we're doing this is we're going to tape it. See this tape here? I got this blue tape. And we're not going to sand this part. That's why we're taping this right here, is so we don't sand this. This is going to go right underneath here. And we want it to be nice and square, not curved. That can make the plane turn left and right, have a gap of air underneath there that we don't want. Remember, when we start sanding, you're going to want to use probably a mask and maybe an apron. So what we're doing now is we're going to measure 1 inch here and 1 inch over here. And then we're going to, on both sides like that. And then we're going to take the ruler and we're going to draw a line all the way across. Nice and straight, not like what I'm doing there. Okay, and this part right here, this represents the apex of the wing. This is the highest point when we sand it off, and I'll show you that in a second. We're going to start giving this shape to a wing shape to this, and in your packet, you'll see that they have these steps here. This is how it should look first, and once you finish that, this whole part over here, you're going to see, because the whole thing was like this. It was straight across. Ooh. Sorry, drawing with a mouse. And we're going to actually remove all of this. You're going to take your time and do this right, because you get one piece of this. Otherwise, you got to start, I don't know what you start with, but you're going to have another piece of foam that's going to be just a pain to try to figure out. You might have to glue 4 pieces of foam together, then cut them. I would recommend taking your time and not messing this up. Again, make sure that you always keep your name written on the wings, and you keep these. These will fit in your locker. And that's probably the best place for it. So we're going to actually sand down and take off everything that's in red here. And then when you get to that part done on both sides of the wing, you'll change it now to step 2, and we'll just take off this little area here. See that little area there? And then we'll also this little area here. And then the third part is you want the wing to be formed into what it looks like on this. So one, then 2, then 3. Those are the steps we do to make this wing. See, that's a better view of it. It shows you what you're doing there. This is the most important picture in the book, probably. I'm just letting you know that you want to make sure to refer back to that. If the wing does not have that shape, and this is 1 inch in, and this is 2 inches in, 2 inches from there, from the apex here. Okay, let me change colors here. The apex is going to be in purple here. Okay, and so the 1 inch to the front, 2 inches to the back. If it isn't, it's not going to fly very well. Okay, then you start sanding to get those shapes. And again, notice it's flat on the table. You don't have it over the edge here because it'll break off if you do. You can see I would never actually sand over here because that area will break right off. Again, wearing a mask. And I probably needed an apron. You can see I'm getting covered in this stuff. And we don't do it at this table. We don't do it at the front 2 tables near the computers. We could do it near the back. Okay. There it is, starting to curve off a little bit. Okay. And then we'll take off like to here. And then it'll curve up a little bit. And we'll have our wing. Remember, not the shape of what I have exactly drawn there, but what you have on the paper that we showed earlier. Look at it, check it every so often. Sand, check, and away you go. Now, you'll notice that this area has not been sanded. Whoa, sorry, I'm trying to draw with the mouse. It's not exactly. And that's nice and square. That's going to fit in that. Whoa. That's going to fit in really nice into the airplane. You'll see that this curves up. This curves up. They should match somewhat. So I might even have to come over to this area and take a little bit more off and bring it down. You see how this is thinner than this part over here. Just keep going. Yeah, like I said, I should have worn an apron. That's how it looks. So anyway, good luck.